Welcome to another new episode on my podcast, Unfolding with Marie. And today I want to share some insights about the Enneagram. I just got a mom and her daughter visiting us here in Spain to work on her relationship with the daughter and her motherhood and her showing up in this relation as the core type that she feels she has inside, but that we can all recognize that I did it again, or now I'm this version of myself that I don't want to be. And I think it's so cool because her commitment to just being humble and really just lay all the guards down in order to get a perspective, get someone from outside that is not in the middle of the emotional experience to put into words what's going on. And she happens to know about the Enneagram already, which was what also made sense. And she did bring a lot of Enneagram books. And I met the Enneagram back in 2011, where it really made sense for me. I really loved the Enneagram. I loved the fact that there was some tools that I could easily take into my development and my growth, and that we had 9 different personalities, and even with the subtypes, and we get so many different options of who we are, that we are fitting into a system here, but it's so complex and it's so detailed that it does make room for all of us, and our unique combination of all the types are as well an aspect that I really find inspiring, and that makes sense in terms of that we are all different. So she brought to me these books. I never read a lot of the Enneagram because I felt so dismotivated every time I opened a book, or every time I heard someone explaining something. It was the same thing explained over and over again. And the same thing happened now. She brought all these books and I was like, okay, this is pure gold for me, because I can just read and I can understand different perspective and different angles of how people are seeing and understanding the Enneagram types. But oh my god, I just read this book about the subtypes and I'm just sitting reading them like, oh my god, I'm so happy this is not me. It's so negatively, it's so blind spot, it's so depressing. Like the way they explain the types, the way they explain the subtypes, like all the explanations I'm meeting about the Enneagram is all the unattractive points. It's labeling. Like just take type 4 for instance, or my type 7, like type 4 being this, you're dramatic, you are getting stuck in your emotional world, and you just want to be opposite all the time. Who wants to be that? Like no one want to be a type 4, right? Because oh my god, they're such a headache and they never fit in, and they are so they take up all the space, and they're so emotional and they can't function in the real world. Or for me, type 7, I remember reading about type 7 and it's being this like, they are not deep people and they are just here to have fun, and they're selfish and they would always run away from all commitments. And I was just reading it like, oh my god, like I'm a horrible person. Who would want to be in a relationship with me if I'm like that, And I find that with all the types, that they're presented being labeled, being bullied. And there's such a big part of me that is getting to understand that this is a very big part of why I want to teach the Enneagram differently, because it's not true. I mean, the only thing we do need to know about the Enneagram is our desire, like our purpose. Why are we here? And our superpower that we are either abusing if we're pressured and subconsciously are abusing, or we're using our superpower in order to step into our wisdom. And when we step into the wisdom, we're living our purpose and everything makes sense for us. And we are actually bringing out these qualities in us that all these books are bullying us for. And I just feel that all this labeling, also I work a lot with the children and the Enneagram. And again, every time I read about something like type 1 is so organized and structured, and you would see their rooms being completely organized. Type 1 is eating perfectly. There's never a crumb anywhere. This is not, in my opinion, true. It's not true that type 1 is like that. Type 1 has parents that thinks that being organized is the most important thing on earth, and that's the best and the most perfect you can be. So type 1 child is abusing their superpower of pushing themselves to be the best, to fulfill the parents' wishes and vision of what is perfectionism in order to be loved. So that type 1 is a perfect organized person is only a label, because that's what perfect is seen as in the world right now. You get my point? Like, can you see the difference? There is a huge difference. I already made a podcast about type 4, and I think all the beauty of type 4, like I burn to just allow ourselves to step into the wisdom, allow ourselves to be different and stand tall in our unique quality. Everything that is written about the types, like type 1 being perfectionism, perfect, what is it called? Like a perfect person, and their superpower and ability to push themselves to actually have high standards and meet these high standards. So the world raises the high standard. This is their superpower. It's not something they should let go of and try to fit in and not be so hard on people. They just need to be aware of this is actually a quality you're having, and this is something to acknowledge and admire in yourself. The only difference is, are you abusing it to survive and try to be normal and be accepted and loved from outside? Or are you using it in order to move into your wisdom, which is to raise the standards of the world? Because we do need to have rules, we do need to have system, we do need to have this individual power within ourselves, knowing that we can do that in order to change the world and into the teamwork of the collective. For type 2, it's like the desire to connect the world and unite the world in deep relationships where we are not judging each other, and having that superpower to feel into others' need. And the only thing I read about with type 2 is like, oh my God, you're so needy and you are totally stepping into over everyone's boundary because you're just helping them and you're getting clingy and all that. Who wants to be that? I mean, the beauty of type 2 is that they can do that, and when they walk into their wisdom using their superpower, they dare to ask about, do you want my advice? We can actually go deeper here if you allow me to help you. And when I allow you to help me, and we can go into this deep connection on a energetic soul level. And this is where we have our true community. And that we all stand strong in our own love, that this love comes from within, but we need each other in order to have that space and grow. For type 3, having the big desire of reaching goals, having like a strong willpower Are they abusing that to try to fit in, to hold themselves small and get in the background and not share their big visions and not share their big desire to have more, to also manifest in the materialistic world? Are we not allowed to have that as humans? Like, who want to be a type 3 when you read about that they're selfish and they're image orientated and they're goal getters? All these are so taboo in this world right now. So what about turning it around and seeing that type 3 is they can use this ability to have a strong willpower to push through when the rest of the team is tired and ready to give up. Type 3 actually have the power to put the carrot in front of the team and themselves to go get it, to go get that big dream, to stay focused, to stay loyal to the people around them, to not have a lot of changes and not go in different directions, but stick to the plan and make it happen. And then they walk into the wisdom and create a world where we actually do move forward and we do allow ourselves all the beauty of the materialistic world and like dare to enter competition. It's not about you and me. It's like also the competition towards ourselves, that we can become a better version of ourselves. We can become better every day. We break, like type 3 is also just challenging this whole labeling from the world of going for something better, breaking with how old do you have to be before you're allowed to do certain things or allowed to read certain things. Type 3 is actually walking into the wisdom when they're breaking with all these labels because they think bigger and better about themselves. They can become younger and they're happy about what they're doing. They should push themselves because this is what they can do. When they do it in a healthy way, they're becoming leaders in the world. Type 4, as I have this other whole episode about, like being such spirit, especially type 4. When I read about type 4, I get so frustrated. It's like, oh my God, making type 4 so wrong. Like, type 4 will never fit into this world. Never, ever. And they are so futuristic that we don't even get that. Like, if you know a type 4, if you are a type 4, please just exit everything. Like, you're not meant to be in a small apartment in a busy city. I mean, your spirit and your whole human body is so sensitive. It's so fragile. It's like you're meant to breathe with nature. You're meant to be in nature and communicate on a soul level and lead and be a leader for the rest of the types to get back into our spirit on earth, our experience of emotions, letting emotions pass, allowing ourselves to get that whole experience in. And when we dare to walk into our leadership, and as a type 4 walking into the leadership of the emotional world and the spirit experience to be on earth, they just become incredible leaders for us other types to expand our emotional experience. And it's like we need type 4 to exit. Type 4 is not here to earn money. Let go of it. Money is for some other types, like type 4 will never be happy. They cannot walk into their wisdom before they allow themselves to exit everything here and just go be in nature. Go allow themselves to pass all the emotions and be free spirits, It's beyond what any other type can even think of, because we don't have that superpower of allowing those strong, heavy, dark feelings that are part of this experience as a human. So other types get scared of that and then making type 4 wrong for it because they don't have capacity. And moving on to type 5, this nerdy, detailed researcher type. Also, when I read about them, it's like, it's this nerdy, they don't know how to be in relationships. They need to get more out there. They need to figure out that their comfort zone, just get out of your comfort zone. Life is beautiful and fun. But type 4 is also here to use their superpower of being able to nerd and allow themselves so much time to get all the details right. If they are trying to disturb themselves by fitting in and be loved and accepted to be on the sports team, they're going to waste their life, and they're starting to abuse their superpower of researching wrong areas just to be loved and accepted, just not to be that boring type. But when they allow themselves to be the nerdy type and get into the details and disappear from all the social scenes and not get onto the sports team to impress people or whatever, be loved and accepted, they can walk into the wisdom and really educate this world next level about, for example, the whole technology area. Like, how do we integrate that technology area in the new age we are entering? For type 6, this whole pressure they're having of staying in this loyalty, and also when I read about type 6, it's coming up as this, like, they're so loyal and they don't have any boundaries, and they just, for anything in the world, they're ready to just forgive and swallow, and when you have, like, who wants to be that? I mean, no one wants to be a pushover that is as type 6 is described. But this is their superpower that is abused. They're abusing their superpowers if they're crossing their own boundaries to please, They are supposed to just walk into the wisdom of actually having this leadership of connecting the whole group. Into the wisdom when they actually allow themselves to get into this brainstorming collaborative mode, instead of abusing it to just keep all the threads together and not wanting change, but using it in terms of like stepping one step back and listening to everyone's and their sayings, and come back with, okay, so in the team setting, we need to go here, and we need to also be loyal to each other, like loyal to the group and the plan, but there's still space for changes, and there's space for everyone's opinion. And then walking into the wisdom of changing how we are working together as teams, and how we are forgiving each other, how we are able to see through panic attacks and still see the soul and the vision of that individual person and their contribution to the group, to include everyone. But if they are so busy trying to prove themselves that they are not just pushovers, being overly loyal, and then abusing their superpowers of just like going through with the first and the best idea that comes up, because now they don't want to risk all of this conflict or this chaos for a moment. They need the peace in their system in order to be able to do that and use their superpower to actually create that group work where we become loyal towards one another and we become a team. And for type 7, this is my type, and it's so interesting because I can really see that, like, as I said in the beginning, like being, oh, you're so fast and you're just thinking about yourself and your joy and you just want to have fun all day. Like, who wants to be that? Like, no one wants to be that. And I think especially I am a type 7. That's totally not how I see myself. I see myself wanting really deep relationships, and I think I am very deep and committed to the people that I'm allowing into my life. So my superpower, finding solutions, is I end up abusing it because it becomes tough to be judged and labeled. So I am finding solutions, and then I'm not allowing myself to actually dig into the using my superpower to use my wisdom of finding solutions for the long-term commitments, finding solutions for the deep relationships, and allowing myself to just reconnect with the bigger purpose, the bigger dream, the big freedom for all of us, how we can work together again as a group, as a team, to achieve freedom all together. And that is actually quite deep, slow, patient work. And this is where I start using my superpower to walk into my wisdom when I'm free to find solutions for the hard parts and the hard commitments too. Walking over to type 8. Type 8 has also been like totally mistold, I feel. It's like, it's these selfish, bold types that are just running over everyone, and they're just me only. They're not wanting any kind of deepness. They're so shallow. They don't have any emotions, Who wants to be a type 8? Like, no one. Who wants to be a person that has no heart? But what is really going on, and what is really the beauty of type 8, is that they're looking out for the whole team. They are daring. They're so brave to go front line in the world and saying like, I got your back. Like talking about loyalty, like they got your back, and they are zooming out on the whole vision of the world. In which direction is this world going? Are we going in the right direction? And yeah, there are uncomfortable things that we need to deal with. But when they are left off with all the judgment and all the labels that are put on them from right and left, they are having space to using their superpowers of actually pushing through all the hard things, by also pushing through being emotional, also pushing through their high standards of how they want to be mothers, how they want to be in relationships, and they can use their bravery into being emotional beings that are deep and that are making sure that there is space as well for emotions on the big rides. And they are then walking into the wisdom of true protectors, true resources. And we need type 8 to walk into that, because there are the resources that can have so much capacity. Like, they can do so many things at the same time. They can have so many balls in the air at the same time and catch all of them. We need them to be bold. We need them to be keeping their head cool, and we need them to take that leadership. We shouldn't make them wrong for that. They are amazing at leading us into the right direction and keeping the overview and the focus straight. And for the last type 9, which is also, in my opinion and everything I've read, like this weak type that is just hiding away, and when they come out from their little hiding place, they are aggressive and shouting, and like they're so such a dead fish. But they end up abusing their superpower to survive all these labels and all this judgment, by pulling back and withdrawing. But we need type 9 to step forward, and we need to encourage them to take their time to actually feel all the feelings of the collective. Which direction are we going in here? Like, how are we connecting the world to go in the same direction? So they can use the superpower to walk into the wisdom of actually uniting the world and reminding that it's all about love, it's all about connection. What is this world worth being in if we don't have each other, and if we cannot celebrate the really big picture of Earth, human, universe, connected in one. And we need to allow type 9 this space. We need them to withdraw and get their wisdom out, not labeling them for that, not distracting them to abuse their superpower, to stay present and to stay in the physical world where they need to take care of a million kids and clean the house and all. It's only going to distract them to do what they are here to do. So does it make sense? I mean, like, even now that I'm talking about it, it's like, it's so important that we start understanding that we have such different purposes on earth, and we are one huge team. We need all of the 9 Enneagram types to step forward into the leadership, and that will remove us from a lot of areas. I am not, as a type 7, built to sit and hold space for a lot of deep emotions and to dig into these very, very dark corners, because if I do that, I am distracting and removing myself from my purpose. Type 4 is built for that. Type 4 is the perfect one to hold that space. So let's get type 4 forward to only do that and to walk their talk of what they can do, to use their superpowers to walk into that room so they can hold all of us in that one room. So we all end up creating different rooms that all the other types can go into and explore and recover and learn and experience that one specific world. But the time or the idea of we all need to carry each other's wisdom and making each other wrong, like in order to fit into the world we need to do this and that. No, this is distracting us. We can never walk into our true purpose and wisdom as long as we try to fit into the world and being one. We have to be unique. We have to stand out. We have to step out from the matrix and create the life that is uniquely in our DNA. It is our purpose. We came to Earth to create that specific space, and not before we take responsibility for our unique space. We cannot be leaders and we cannot lead each other. And as long as we cannot lead each other, a government will lead us. And we will stay small and we will stay shameful and we will stay confused and we will stay withdrawn. And we need to encourage each other to step forward in this uniqueness that we all have. And accept as well that we are not everything else. We are just one thing. And the ironic part and the beautiful part is that once we actually move into our wisdom and we work with our fear and all these labels and all this pressure and our overstimulated nervous systems that have tried to survive in this one specific world full of labels and judgment, is that we become everything. The more I allow myself to walk into my wisdom of type 7, my nervous system can relax so much. I'm so aligned with my purpose that suddenly I see myself expanding in all the other types. I see myself coming into type 2's wisdom room and just have space and calmness to explore that same side of myself where there's no pressure for me, because I can never reach the limit that type has. It's like when I walk into my type 7, everyone can go in with whatever lost mind they have, because no matter what happens, I can always find a solution. I will never run out of solutions. I will never walk into depression. Or, like all the types have this unique room where they're so limitless, where their borders are so far that we other types that walk in there, we can never reach their limit. We can never be too much in this room. And this is the kind of space and non-judgmental, safe room that we need in order to expand these other parts of ourselves. So, summa summarum, I hope this have given you a different angle of how to maybe use the Enneagram, see the Enneagram. I feel that it really needs to be retold, re-understood. I think the Enneagram, and it's an old tool, it has also been serving a era and a time frame where we had to work as a team to create structures and get out of poverty and get into government systems and raise the standard of the world. But we're over that now. It's time for change, and it's time for us to actually dare to be unique and individual people who really, really stand tall and strong in our own wisdom and are connected with this core purpose that we came to Earth to lead in. So that was all I had on my heart today. Share with me what you think. Share this with a person that could benefit from hearing it. If you have anyone knowing about the Enneagram already, if you already know, please give me your feedback. How do you see it? Do you have any additions to add to it? Anything that resonated? If you're specific, we're all specific types in the Enneagram. Share how it looks from the type that you are. Share how you could see that you are walking into your wisdom and you're using your superpower in a healthy way. I would love to hear these things. So let's start a conversation, and I'll talk to you soon.